Every single day, we're surrounded by an ocean of information. But how much of it do we actually see? We're about to dive into situational awareness. Basically, the skill of training your mind to notice what everyone else misses. In fact, I'll bet that right now, in this very moment, there's a crucial detail in your environment that has totally escaped your attention. It's not a magic trick, it's just how our brains work. We're wired to filter out what seems unimportant. But what if that unimportant detail is actually the key to everything? Think about it. Most threats, whether it's a car swerving into your lane or a hazard on the job, they almost always give off little clues before they happen. The problem is, we get trapped in what's called normalcy bias, this belief that just because things have been fine so far, they're going to keep being fine. And that makes us way too slow to see the warning signs until it's too late. But what if you could change that? What if you could literally flip a switch in your brain and go from being a passive reactor to an active predictor? Well, that is the core promise here. We're going to break down a mental model that will completely shift your perspective, helping you see trouble before it starts. So how do we actually do it? The key is this simple but incredibly powerful framework. It's used by everyone from airline pilots to special forces. It's called the Endsley model, and it breaks situational awareness down into 3 distinct, totally manageable levels. These are the 3 building blocks: perception, comprehension, and projection. The best way to think about it is like a ladder. You can't just jump to the top, right? You got to start at the bottom, and each step builds on the one before it. So let's break down exactly what each of these means. Okay, so level 1 is perception. This is the foundation of everything. It's simply about gathering the raw data from the world around you. We're not talking about judgment or analysis yet. It's just noticing. You see a wet floor sign. You hear an unusual noise down the hall. You feel the vibe of a room suddenly change. You're just collecting the facts with your senses. That's it. Next, we climb up to level 2, comprehension. This is where that raw data starts to mean something. So you don't just see the wet floor sign, you understand it means the floor is slippery, and that's a hazard. This is the step where you connect the dots between what you're perceiving and what it actually means for you right here, right now. And this brings us to the top of the ladder. Level 3, projection. Honestly, this is the superpower. Based on your understanding that the floor is slippery, you can now predict the near future. You can project that if you walk right over that wet spot, you're probably going to fall. And that's the whole point. It lets you make a proactive decision to just walk around it, avoiding the problem before it even happens. So, that's the model: perception, comprehension, and projection. Sounds simple enough, right? But understanding the theory is one thing. Putting it into practice day in and day out is something else. So how do we actually train our brains to do this automatically? Let's get into some real actionable habits. Here are some super simple things you can start doing today. First, minimize distractions. Seriously, put the phone away. Look up, look out, and actively scan your surroundings. When you walk into a new place, make it a habit. Always know where at least 2 exits are. Try to establish a baseline. What's normal for this environment, so you can quickly spot anything that's out of place. And finally, practice what-if scenarios in your head. It's like doing reps at the gym for your brain. One of the most powerful tools you have is your intuition. That little gut feeling that something is just off. Never, ever ignore that feeling. It's often your subconscious mind perceiving and comprehending patterns way faster than your conscious brain can keep up. It's a powerful alarm system. You have to learn to trust it. Now, it's really easy to think this is all about high-stakes, emergency situations. But the real power of situational awareness, the real game changer, is how it applies to absolutely every single part of your life, from the boring stuff to the critical moments. Just look at how this model plays out all the time. When you're driving, you perceive a tailgater. You comprehend the risk, then you project that you'll need more stopping distance, so you ease off the gas. Or in a conversation, you perceive a subtle shift in someone's tone. You comprehend they might be upset, and you project that you should probably change your approach to avoid a misunderstanding. It's the same 3 steps, every single time. So, what's the payoff for all this? Well, it's huge. Developing this skill leads directly to enhanced safety, obviously, but it also leads to just flat-out better decision-making in all areas of your life. You reduce risk not by being paranoid, but by being prepared. And you become way more adaptable to whatever life throws at you because you see it coming. So, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this: nobody is born with perfect situational awareness. It is not some innate gift, it is a skill. And like any skill, it can be developed, it can be practiced, and it can be mastered through conscious effort. It all comes down to choosing to pay attention. Which really just leaves us with a final thought. Tomorrow, as you go about your day, you're going to be surrounded by thousands upon thousands of details. Most of them will be meaningless, but some of them might be critical. The only question is, what are you going to choose to notice?